Welcome to 1818 Farms. I'm the owner, Natasha McCrary, and today we're out in the flower field and we're going to be talking about one of my favorite flowers, zinnias. And we plant thousands of these each year, but there's a new variety I'm extremely excited about. We're doing a trial for Syngenta cut flowers, and we're trialing, if you look down here, it's called the Zinnia Uproar. And they're supposed to be a lot more disease resistant. For any of you guys who are watching us in the southeast where it's extremely humid, you know we fight powdery mildew, all season long. And this is, I'm excited to try all this just to see how it compares up to the Baneri Giants in Oklahoma. It's just the standards that we grow. And there's two different thoughts on pinching. Some people are the big believers on, hey, you don't need to pinch. And probably, if you're a backyard gardener and you're not really trying to go for the production of the flowers, maybe not. But what we like is when you pinch, you're just kind of triggering to the flower, hey, I've got these side leaf nodes. I'm going to shoot up more branches. So that's what we're going to do today. These are a little bit larger than I usually like to cut and pinch back, but I've just kind of been watching them because I wanted to compare them. If you look to my left, these are Baneri Giants that we planted maybe 2 weeks after these plugs. So you can see the difference in a plug versus a seed. Now for us, we direct seed. If you look all behind me from the uproars back, I mean, this is probably, each row is about 500 different zinnias, and this is one of the varieties that we grow. When we direct seed, which if you look down, these were direct seeded. We usually put 3 seeds in a hole because we have a lot of pressure from grasshoppers and crickets, and you're just trying your best to get through with having one plant. And then what we're going to do in a few days is we're going to go through, because we really only want one plant in each hole, is we're just going to clip it at the bottom and, finish that one off, because we don't need two. Like you see here, we've got two in this hole. And really, it's going to be competing with nutrients and water, so we'll clip it here. But first, we're going to go back over to the zinnia uproars, and I'm going to show you guys where we're going to pinch. And you can see, look at all the buds. These were planted early April, around April 15th. They're looking super healthy. A lot of buds, and when you're building large bouquets, you need stem length. So basically, that's what we're doing. We're telling it, hey, let's produce longer stems. So I'm going to kind of go on this one, and you can see the number of leaf nodes it has here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm really wanting a long stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here close to the base because we've got all these on the side, and I'm just going to clip. And this is just going to tell the plant, hey, let's send up more shoots. You're going to have a bushier plant and lots more blooms. And I know this is probably, for me and for you, the hardest thing to do is pinching, because you feel like, oh, I'm wasting it. But you're really not. You're going to be doing yourself a favor in the long run, because you're going to have sturdier plants. They're going to be more robust and beautifully branching. And we'll try, and as the year progresses, I'm extremely excited about these zinnia uproars. But most of our zinnias are going to be over 6 feet tall by the time we get into the end of the season. So it's a beautiful landscape. But don't be afraid to pinch. Ideally, what I like to do is pinch when we're closer to this size on my left, the Baneri Giants. And just to kind of show you here what we're going to do, there are not as many leaf nodes. You don't want to go down to the first set of leaves, but what I'm going to do on this one, or this is the first set of true leaves here. This isn't your true leaves. I'm just going to pinch. And that's going to, put energy into the plant and have it to create more stems. And as sad as it's going to be, and I know y'all aren't going to believe this, this is what I'm going to do here, because these are way too close. This one's just going to be trimmed at the bottom, and then we're going to trim here. And in a few weeks, we're going to be rewarded with beautiful long stems. So I encourage you guys, especially if you're a beginner gardener, zinnias are one of the easiest to start with. Like literally, these we planted with seeds, and we planted on a Friday, and we had sprouts late Sunday afternoon. One of the biggest mistakes that I see when people do plant with seeds is they plant the seed and they walk away. You can't do that. What we do is once we plant it, every morning, we overhead water with a water hose until we see sprouts, because otherwise it's going to dry out too much and you're not going to get that sprout. So direct seeding for us, we do a lot at our farm. A lot of people are surprised about that, like celosia, asters, zinnias, We even do some dahlias, some with tubers and some with not. We do a lot of direct seeding, marigolds, cosmos. For us, because of space, it takes a lot of space when you're starting the plugs, and also time. For us, by the time you start the plugs, you baby them, you bump them up. We just love to direct seed. And luckily, the one good thing about living here when it's 100 degrees and we're dying in the fields is we have great results from direct seeding. So if you have any questions, be sure to shoot me a message. I love communicating with you guys. And be sure and subscribe to the channel so you can see all the other things that are happening at 1818 Farms.